Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm Steven, Northwest Small Batch Brewing here, and it is Sunday, so it is time for another whiskey tasting. I haven't had this one for a while, so I'm excited to revisit it. Let me open it here. So this is Glenfiddich 12. So obviously the 12 means it's 12 years of age. It is a Speyside whiskey out of Scotland. It is 40% ABV, which is disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It'd be nice if it was just a little higher than that, you know. It is aged, obviously, for 12 years in Oloroso, sherry, and bourbon casks. Now, either I'm reading into it wrong or something, but I really believe the way the Glenfiddich is describing this, they actually aged this for 12 years in Oloroso bourbon casks before they move it into what they call like oak aging barrels or something. So that doesn't sound right to me. I can't imagine like aging a whiskey for 12 years in an Oloroso cask, but anyway, so some things I really like about this distillery. It is family owned. My understanding is it is still family owned, which is unusual these days. A lot of distilleries sell out to big companies, and it's kind of cool that they're family owned since 1887. So they've been around for a little while. Yeah, I mean, they do a lot of stuff themselves. I believe that they malt whenever, you know, their own grain. They have their own cooperage. It's just cool. I like the distillery. I like that about the business. They have, interestingly enough, this is just a random fact, but they have the largest number of pot stills in the world. At least that is what they claim. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm getting on the nose, and then I'll continue. So I'm getting a lot of pear, which is what most people describe with this particular whiskey. And I think I haven't drank a lot of this because I'm not a huge fan of pear. It's not my favorite fruit in the world. But it's definitely like, yeah, I mean, it's very, very much pear forward on the nose. Let me take a quick sip. What else can I tell you about this? Yeah, another interesting little fact. So Glenfiddich, wow. Sorry, I'm just getting it's a very long finish on this whiskey. Glenfiddich has been used in the film and movie industry quite a bit, where they use tinted water as opposed to, the real thing. Because in a movie, you're obviously not going to be drinking the real thing. But they're one of the whiskeys that's famously known for being used quite a bit in movies and TV. Anyway, back to the whiskey. So I only took that little sip, and very sweet on the palate, and the finish kind of lasts for days. So you get this upfront punch of pear. Here's the pear. So, right up front is this pear, and then it finishes with a very sweet, like on the back of your tongue, I would say you could almost call it cream, which I don't usually get with whiskeys. And just a sweetness. Yeah. Very long finish on this. I guess the only other thing I would say is I wish it was a little higher ABV. So I'm not going to add water to this because it's already at the lowest ABV it can be and still be called Scotch. So either the blenders felt that this was the best, sweet spot for the whiskey, or they're just trying to basically get every bit of product to be able to sell, right? If you can water all of it down to 40% and sell it and people buy it, you're going to make more money, right? Because you have more product to sell. Anyway, I also like the bottle. It's a cool shape. It's like triangle shape. Anyway, that's about it. I would recommend it. I think it's reasonably priced. I haven't looked at it recently, but when I bought it, it was a reasonable price. So, I would say if you're into lighter whiskeys that are just sweet, I know I said it's finished in Oloroso, but I don't get much of a sherry like influence on this. So that's interesting. At any rate, I'll be back in another week with another whiskey tasting. And until then, sláinte.